Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are all doing great. I believe it's Tuesday. Right? Yeah, Tuesday evening. I'm on break, so like all the days start blending together, and I'm just like all over the place. But yes, it's Tuesday evening. I hope that you guys have been having a good work week so far and all that good stuff. Hope that you guys are working on catching up on rest, even if it's right now, because it is, at least on the East Coast, it's a little after 9:30. So some of you guys might be winding down right now, which is nice. So on and so forth. For those of you who are new to the channel, hey girl, what's up, my love? um, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you like what you see here and decide to you know, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. I would greatly appreciate the support. And for those of you who have been rocking with your girl for a little while or are tapping in now, I greatly appreciate y'all. I got one of my road dogs over here, the Phoenix Priestess here. That's my Soli. So and my bestie. So love to, anytime I see her pop up, I always get very happy to see her. And Jean, I see you here too. Great to see you. Great to see you. So with all that said, you guys saw the title, and this is I haven't done one of these in a very long time. I don't even know the last time I've used these cards on the channel. It's been that long. It's been a minute. Um, but it's a great deck. And I was drawn between doing either this or a self-love and self-care reading. And I felt more drawn to this because, like I said, it's been a while since I've done one of these. And I feel like it might be slightly more meaningful because some of that stuff might end up popping up in here. So, yeah, with all that said, we're going to tap in. I'm going to shuffle this deck here. And, yeah, for those of you who don't know what a starseed is, it's basically an individual who has reincarnated in other lifetimes in different planets and realms, galaxies, things like that. And now you're here on this damn place we call Earth. And, you might be feeling, you might be going through it right now. Life be lifing over here, you might be like, Scotty, bring me back up. You know what I mean? Some of y'all really might feel like that sometimes. It's like this place is ghetto. I don't like being here. But yeah. And so if you ever heard that term before, that's kind of what it is. And yeah, so you'll hear different terms like Palladians and Latidians and all kind of stuff like that. You might have heard some of those terms, and it might even pop up in this reading. We shall see, but yeah. So without going too far into all of that stuff, we're gonna tap into the reading itself. So like I said, thank you for being here, guys, and I really hope that you guys like what you see here and decide to stick around for the reading. I did see all ways lead home when I was shuffling, or all paths lead home. Yeah, while I'm shuffling, I see it again. I'll just say what this one says though. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Interesting. So that's just while I'm shuffling, and I saw it like 3 times while I was shuffling. So I'm like, that one might be pretty important. So let's see what's going on with the collective. Clear some most accurate messages, please. Clear most accurate messages. Thank you. All right, so we have the cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Came out in the reverse. So I'm kind of getting, it's on the bottom of the deck, but I am getting like, maybe you guys have been kind of feeling like you're losing touch with whatever your soul's mission is at this time. Trying to figure it out. A reason why that could be the possibility for some of you, if you do resonate with that part of the message so far, it could be because the heart chakra is blocked, and I do remember kind of picking up on blocked heart chakra energy before, like in the previous reading, so you might resonate with that. Let's see what's going on. Clearest, most accurate messages for the collective. What does the collective need to know at this time for their highest good? Alright, so empathic starseed. There we go. Look at that. Energetic sovereignty, absorbing what is not yours. That might be a challenge right now for some of you guys. You might be taking on way too many other things, and that could be what's affecting the heart chakra. Maybe it's overly active at this time. And they're kind of calling for you to kind of free yourself from that a little bit, because sometimes when we take on the energy of other people and it's not our energy, it can start to deplete you. And you know, you got to know how to shut, not I won't use the word shut it off, but you have to learn how to know what's yours and what isn't, and kind of put a little bit of a barrier there in between, so that way you don't take on too much of other people's stuff. Almost like a glass, like you can see it, might even be able to somewhat feel it, but it doesn't affect you or touch you too much, if that makes any sense. So some of you might be empaths, really strong ones at that. But this might be a time to learn how to hone in on how to utilize that gift at this time. Tell us. Thank you. What we got? Perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out and common ground. Going back to what I was saying before, knowing what's yours and what isn't, being able to kind of separate yourself from the circumstances and say, okay, I'm realizing that this is not my energy to absorb. I need to, you know, figure out how to sort through that. It's not easy, trust me, because I still kind of go through that sometimes myself, where I, especially, you know, when you're in like a group of people. When, like, for instance, like a lot of people call it social anxiety or something like that, but, or like they'll say something, I say it too, like, oh yeah, my social battery is really low, I'm not really sure if I want to be around people right now. And that could be why, because it's like, it's, you know, we use that as a layman's term for other people to understand it, but really what it is that it could be the empathic energy, you know, your gift of being an empath kind of taking over and making it difficult for you to be able to be in social circumstances and things like, or situations and stuff like that. So again, being able to know what's yours and what's not, separating yourself from that of other people and their energy. Bottom of the deck, I just decided to look, I felt called to do so. Water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Ironically enough, didn't I say I was kind of feeling like I wanted to do a self-love and self-care reading? Well, they're definitely saying, you know, you gotta make sure your own garden is watered before you go trying to help anybody else. Let me know if that makes any sense. Let's get like 2 or 3 more from here, and then we're gonna look at some tarot. I'm gonna keep this one kind of short and sweet. I don't want to go too crazy tonight. Alright, so we have karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. So that could be one of the karmic lessons that you're learning, right? That of the karmic relationships, understanding what they mean and how they contribute to where you're going on this part of the journey and the path that you're on, which could cause a lot of inner conflicts, making you feel a little bit lost, right? We definitely picked up on a little bit of that energy. We picked up on a lot of that feeling lost energy a lot lately, like hermit and stuff like that. Like just, you know, kind of doing a lot of that inner work. I'm gonna definitely have baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it even makes sense. So like, you know, being called or guided. Hey Hillary, how are you? Being called or guided, right, to do certain things, take certain steps, maybe away from certain people or certain situations. And even at this time, even though you feel guided, you're just trying to figure out what does it all mean. But this is definitely about kind of freeing yourself from the things that no longer serve you, especially when it comes to certain types of relationships. All right, let's get 2 or 3 more from here. Grateful to see you guys popping in. We have the Great Severing. Yeah, exactly. We got energy of conflict more than once too. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Kind of like a, being diplomatic about the situation, letting bygones be bygones. You're not going to always, be able to continue connections with certain individuals in your life. And while that might be kind of difficult for whatever reason, you might feel different types of emotions. It's what's necessary in order to move forward, especially when it comes to being an empath and not having to hold on to the energies of other people who, might be dragging your energy down. Let's get two more from here. Got the love. So we got one that says softening to love, and now we got you got the love. Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So yeah, you gotta set those healthy boundaries. Part of the lesson that you're probably experiencing as well is learning that you might be codependent sometimes. Maybe some of your relationships have been codependent. I can say that I've experienced those relationships in my life, and it's nothing to be ashamed about or anything like that. It happens. And, a lot of times, codependency stems really far back to possibly even childhood. When some of us might experience, sorry, I'm hearing more than one thing, so I'm trying to get one message out while I'm hearing another. You know how like if you're trying to think of a song, but then you're hearing a song at the same time. That's like what I'm feeling right now. So bear with me. But insecure attachments is what I'm getting. Like maybe when it came to, your parents, or a parent. Take it if it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. For some of you, you might have up to 3 or 4 siblings. Maybe you felt like you had to fight for attention. That seems very specific for somebody. Let me know if that makes any sense. That's not going to be the case for everybody, but for somebody that could be the case. Getting throat chakra vibes too, needing to say something. Maybe there's something you needed to say to somebody for a while and can't seem to get it out. Whether it's with siblings, I'm getting something about siblings. Parents, needing to say something about how you've been feeling for a very long time. And like I said, this could have contributed to, codependent relationships throughout your life, whether it's in the form of friends, romance, probably a lot of romance, so on and so forth. Not just romance, but like that probably is a big one for some of you guys who do end up resonating with that part of the message. Bottom of the deck we have the golden the golden children, inner child. You can't make this stuff up even if you wanted to. It is on the bottom of the deck. Tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. So there could have been something about you that was unique that made you feel like you kind of were a little bit of an outcast, like the black sheep for some of you. Wow. Like I said, let me know if that makes sense or if it resonates. Let me look at this card again. I'm seeing, like, I can clearly see like 3 or 4 faces, but there might even be like a 5th face on this card as I'm looking at it. When it comes to siblings, keep on picking up on that. Yeah, like the other face is not as clear as the other ones, but I'm definitely picking up on like 3 or 4, possibly a 5th. For somebody, and see how that throat chakra is like closing off. Baby steps is on the top of the deck again. I don't know if any of you guys are the baby, or if you're not the baby, you might be the oldest and you were the one who helped take care of the babies. Like that might even be what like your parents, like, or yeah, your parents might have said, oh, take care of the babies. Getting like pseudo adult kind of thing for somebody. Very interesting. For some of you, you might have felt like you never had a chance to be truly a child or a baby. Um, that might have been your way of acting out. If this, let me know if it makes sense for any of you. Somebody might have acted out sometimes almost on purpose to try to get attention, even though you weren't the baby, but like maybe the younger siblings were getting all the attention for all the wrong reasons. You're like, hey, what about me? So you might have acted out on purpose, like in immature ways to stand out. A lot of different messages going on here. So let me know if it resonates. Middle of the deck, we have trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Trusting the process. It's also kind of giving me like feeling like you've been in more than one place at one time. Like feeling like your energy has been split in so many different ways, in different places. I heard time crunch. Like you always feel like you have to do something in a timely manner. Always feeling like you're on the go. And like if you don't do something, then you feel bad. Beat yourself up about it. Feel guilty. Very interesting stuff going on. There's a lot of different messages, so bear with me. Wow. Let me read the messages. Wow. Very interesting. What we got here? So we have two cards that came out together. We have You Are Not Alone. It says isolation, physical connection, and community. Maybe that's something that some of you guys, wish you had at some point. It could be where that codependency kind of comes into. It's like, again, like that connection that you wish that you had that you did not have. And looking for it in other people. I'm getting something like that. And that could become very, very lonely trying to do that because, you're realizing that you can't fill that void. The only way that void can ever be filled is by the people who created the void in the first place. And then that requires you having to talk to them about how you've been feeling. It came out along with messenger, see? What does a messenger do? They relay a message, right? Serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. Some of you might have Sagittarius in your chart, or somebody close to you might have Sagittarius in their chart. Those came out together. Let's get one more from here. Look at that. Double mission. Light worker starseed. A light worker is somebody who's meant to bring a sense of light to the world. And on this mission, when it comes to being a starseed, that is what your mission is. That's what you're meant to do. Serve the world by being you. Don't dim your light. Your light is what is going to help people see their darkness in order to help them grow. We have trust the timing again. And that could be, again, why sometimes your energy feels split. You feel like you're doing too many things. It's like, damn, like, can I ever catch a break? Why does it always feel like I always have to, like, do so much? One more. Why do I always feel like I'm doing so much but so little all at the same time? I almost feel like you're, on a treadmill. When you're on a treadmill, you could be going as fast as fuck, boy, and you're not going anywhere, right? Maybe that's how you feel sometimes. Let me know if that makes any sense. But just, yeah, feeling like, like you're not getting where you're trying to go. Knowing that there's something that you're meant to do, but just feeling like you're not getting there. I've got two cards that came out. Alright, so we have baby steps is here again, but then we also have loosen your grip, coping mechanism, density, addiction, let God in. Yeah. Going back to codependency and all that. So, a lot of times in codependent relationships, there's a sense of addiction involved too, in different capacities. Literally, codependency in and of itself is a form of addiction. So that could be something that you've been really trying to work through. learning how to let go of those relationships and loosen that grip a bit. This is also a time to rely on source at the moment, like not focusing so much on, you know, relationships outside of yourself, but really working on your relationship within self and with the Most High, which sometimes can feel lonesome, especially when we're talking about severing ties with people who we do care about, who have, you know, an impact on that heart space. Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. Some of you might wish that you had somebody who you can trust, whether it's a brother or a sister. Um, for those of you who have a brother, maybe you wish that your brother would have protected you more in some kind of way or been more loyal. Very interesting. Very interesting. Top of the deck we have weight of the world. Yes. Boundaries. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. Thank you, Spirit. That's literally what we were talking about the duration of this reading. Taking on everybody else's shit. And it's not yours, right? For some of you, your own brother could be part of the reason why you've been feeling the way that you're feeling. So, like I said, take it if it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. The Seas of Mintaka. I almost was going to say... purify yourself in the lake Minnetonka. For those of you who are Prince friends and like Purple Rain. But yeah, it says seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to the light. You're starting to really start seeing like what all of this is and what it means to you at this time. You know, what these different relationships that you've had in your life that might not have been the healthiest, right? Especially when we're talking about stemming back like further back into childhood. Um, you know, it's easier said than done to face that. Trust me, I know. So when you start to, you know, analyze what all that means and how it impacts you in adulthood, right? There's a lot to unpack there. It's really not that simple. Exactly. I agree 100%, Hillary. 100%. That's why a lot of times, you know, cycles are repeated. And that's why we talk about breaking like generational curses and things like that. Because, you know, sometimes we are like the environment that we came from. You know, we do have free will. So once we start understanding that, you know, these things are maladaptive, right? We have the choice to be able to say, okay, well, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to change it. I'm going to switch this up. I can vouch and say that I resonate with that message because I grew up in a family where there was, you know, addicts on both sides of my family, drug addicts and alcoholics on both sides. In fact, on my dad's side, I lost two uncles to AIDS from shooting up back in the 90s. So that's just an example. These are, you know, things that, you know, there's 6 people in here and 5 likes, as I said that. That's about karma, right? As up to 11, that's about karma. And, you know, balancing those scales. I'm definitely meant to be one of the people in my bloodline that's meant to, you know, sever the ties of those karmic cycles and distance myself from it so that I can help work on my bloodline so that the next ones after me, my son, my grandchildren, so on and so forth, don't repeat those same patterns. So on and so forth, right? Um, yeah, I've seen it. You know what I mean? I've got a relative who's on dialysis because of kidney failure. Like, and that's from drug use because she ended up honestly going down the same path as her dad. And she was shooting up too. And also was doing alcohol or using alcohol. So, you know, no judgment or anything, but sometimes, you know, people don't realize how, you know, what they've witnessed impacts them, you know. And then sometimes some stuff is also about being, you know, susceptible because of the literal genes. You know, some people literally have more of a predisposition to being an addict than some other people. There's people who literally that could take one drink or do one drug one time in college, and now all of a sudden they're an addict, a full blown addict, because they liked it that much. I took up psychology of addiction in college, so, and that's actually what I went to school for. So like, yeah, it could get pretty heavy, right? That's part of the reason why I went to school for what I went to school for. Ironically, not just working in special education, but go figure, right? But yeah, my grandmother, she was a drug and alcohol counselor, and then a social worker. So like, a lot of moving parts, right? A lot of people within the bloodline who made a lot of mistakes, and then other people trying to work on correcting those mistakes. As the left side of my nose is starting to itch. So yeah, we're gonna move upward and onward. That's what's happening here for you guys too. A lot of this does have to do with family. 10 of Cups here. Isn't it? Yes, it could be a actual personality trait. Yes, and then it could be a predisposition in terms of your genealogy as well. Yeah, it could be either or. And then for others, it could just be like more of a chemical dependency. So like they're trying to fill a void, and next thing you know, they go from having like a couple of drinks after work with a couple of coworkers to they're drinking by themselves at home and having 6 drinks before they go to sleep. And now they have to have it physically, because if they don't have it, they can literally like start shutting down their body. Like people get the shakes and stuff, like that type of stuff. There's different levels to addiction. It's very, very interesting. Like, when people try to say, oh yes, it's all about choice and things like, yes and no. It's not always that simple, So I definitely can empathize with addicts, because there's more to it than just, oh, if you just stop drinking or you just stop doing that drug, then you're fine. Like, it's not that simple. There's chemical elements and psychological stuff, all that stuff, and then don't let there be a morbidity going on. Like they also have a mental illness going with it, like depression or anxiety or something. Oh, now we got more problems going on. So yeah. Yeah, see, Becky, that's very, very interesting that you brought that up, because there's a lot of people who, if they know that is something that is in the family, they're like, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. There's a reason why, like, I remember in college, like, I went to college with some prominent, I'm not trying to be funny, white kids when I went to college the first time. And I'm talking about kids from, like, Jersey Shore and stuff like that, and, like, they would come to Connecticut, and that's where I live, and they would know where to get the stuff. And they would like ask me, hey, do some? And I'm like, no. That's what that's what I do. Like, no, thank you. But yeah, like, and the part of the reason why I didn't try it was because, my dad was into that shit back in the day. My mom too. Like, my mom, she was able to like not do it anymore, but like my dad, he was doing that for a long time, up until probably maybe 10 years ago. That was his thing. And he's a musician from the 80s, like in the early 90s. Like that was the thing. It's like the drug of choice for people back then. But point being, as I was doing the people in my family, I was like, nope. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so we have King of Cups here as the overall message starting out. The King of Cups usually is somebody who's very emotionally intelligent. They've learned how to balance out their emotions, but also hone in on a sense of logic at the same time. So I'm getting like you guys have been, I'm kind of getting like making head over heart decisions, right? Because we did talk about that heart space. I think you guys are trying to learn how to make decisions that are not just based on emotion, You do have the Nine of Wands here on the bottom of the deck, kind of protecting yourself a little bit. Learning how to not overextend is what I'm kind of getting so far. Tell us more. And remember, this is going to be different for everybody, so just take the messages as they resonate. This is what we got going on so far. I am happy that some of you guys are resonating with this message so far, because it does show that I'm tapping into your energy, and this message could very much so be for you guys that are watching. We have Two of Cups here. So that's usually about partnerships, usually in terms of romance, but it could be in other forms too. Compatibility, I said partnership already, but yeah, somebody might be going to make some type of offer towards you. You have Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Somebody, like, there's somebody in your life, whether it's on your, like, whether you're having a hard time doing this or this person who does not want to walk away. We got the Eight of Cups in the reverse on the top of the deck with this Page of Cups. Somebody might want to make an apology. I'm getting one of two things. I'm getting either, remember we're talking about siblings, it could be a sibling, or it can be, I'm getting a sibling, but I'm also getting the sibling might be younger than you, possibly. Or the apology is going to be very, very minimal. Like, they're not going to really take full accountability. It's going to be one of those, like, oh, let's just kind of sweep this under the rug and be okay. I'm getting something like that. Four of Swords in the middle of the deck. Yeah, I'm getting kind of like, for some of you, if you're resonating with this so far, like, it might be like one of those, like, really, like, it's not like a full-on apology. It could be more like a, oh, I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. Or, no, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Like, very backhanded. It's like not a true apology, but like that's their way of trying to kind of, you know, extend the olive branch, so to speak. They want to sweep things under the rug is what I'm getting. Again, let me know if that resonates with any of you. That's awesome, Becky. I'm happy that you were able to work on that on your own accord. That's awesome, because like I have mental health issues in my family. Bipolar is one of the things that's in my family. Schizophrenia is another, and some personality disorders. I myself have major depression and ADHD and anxiety. So like, to be able to say that you were able to, you know, do that on your own, that's such a feat. Like, to be able to handle it at all is a feat, right? But to be able to say that you learned how to sort through it, I'm really proud of you. It's hard. It's hard in any capacity, you know. So, right on to you. Right on to you. Tell us more. What's the challenge when it comes to what we're seeing here for the collective? What's the challenge? Alright, so we have Page of Pentacles here. Yeah, kind of getting it. Remember I was talking about like depleting yourself? I heard bleeding yourself dry. Like, especially for some of you, let me know if this resonates. For some of you, you have helped people out, especially like in terms of family, a lot when it comes to finances. Let me know if that resonates. Some of you might have given a lot of money to somebody or people in your family, trying to help them. And it's like, this is a time to kind of reflect on that and say, you know what, not everybody's worth me just, you know, constantly like giving in this way. Especially when you know you're not gonna get it back. You know, like they come and say, oh, look, can I borrow? Yeah, right. You're not borrowing shit. You're just taking. let me hold such and such and such until next week. You know you're not getting it back. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because we got the Page of Pentacles. That's the card that's on the spread. But then it's accompanied with the Four of Swords and then the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, no thanks. So it's like, you know, that, and that's a challenge for you. I think you guys give so much of yourself even when you don't have anything to give. And that's why this is a challenge. So this is definitely a time to, you know, not let people, you know, tug on your heartstrings and try to, you know, control you in that way. Easier said than done. Trust me, I get it. When I start hearing a sob story, I automatically want to go helping people and shit. You know, some of you might resonate with that, but sometimes you got to say, okay, you know what? No, not this time. Tell us more. What we got? What we got? All right, so a way that you can might be able to move on from this challenge is the Knight of Wands. And what I'm getting from this is the Knight of Wands represents a lot of things, but one of the things it can represent is movement, very fast movement at that. Something you're passionate about, so on and so forth. So in this case, what I'm picking up on is moving on past people who are deceptive. We got Seven of Swords. People always have some type of ulterior motive. You just have to be able to pick and choose who's who, right? Not everybody has the right intentions. Some people could be very manipulative. So it's like just being able to know the difference. Some people really do need your help, and that's okay. It's all about intention. So are they coming in with malintent? Are they coming in to be a moocher and a user? Like, what what's the end game, right? Other than, you know, trying to get something out of you. Because the thing is, you've been through too many heartbreaks, too many disappointments with this Three of Swords in the middle of the deck. Like, you've been through too many of those. So people are really worthy of, you know, being able to, you know, be assisted when it comes to, you know, you lending that helping hand and stuff like that. But you have to be able to know who's who. Right. Trust your intuition. Who's who. Tell us more. This is definitely a time to do some self-reflection. The Hermit is here, and I definitely mentioned the Hermit earlier. I was picking up on that before it came out. Yeah, soul searching, inner work, you know, and this is also going to be a time of solitude for some of you. And of course, you know, some of us don't want to be alone and things like that, but sometimes it's necessary for the soul's growth. Yeah, in order to get out of this place of lack with this Five of Pentacles in reverse. You know, in order to get out of that place of lack, you might have to kind of take a step back from these different situations. And it's not going to be easy in some cases, because some people, you know, you really care about them, whether it's your parents or your siblings, cousins, friends, so on and so forth. But you have to do what's best for yourself at this time. Don't let the past be the thing that holds you back with this Six of Cups in the reverse. Knowing how to kind of start letting go and releasing that. And for a lot of you, it definitely has to do with instability within the household or within the family dynamic with this Four of Wands here in the middle of the deck in the reverse. Wow. Tell us more. Got to surrender and walk away. We got the Five of Swords, and this is going to be hard because look, you're going to be in your head about this. A lot of thinking, a lot of anxiety about it. Nine of Swords in the middle. I mean, on the bottom of the deck. A lot of, you know, being in your head space at this time, or what's about to come in. Choices, the Lovers. major choices that need to be made at this time. Because at the end of the day, you've dealt with too many people who have been super selfish with this Nine of Swords. Nine of Cups in the middle of the deck in reverse. Selfish individuals who take, but never are willing to give. What are you going to do about that, right? Especially knowing that you have this for those of you who are resonating, you might have an issue with codependency within relationships, especially when it comes to family, apparently. And you have to start shutting that shit down. Again, easier said than done. I get it. Trust me. I know. I'm working on that myself. So, trust me. Yep. There's a term for what you were doing when it comes to being a child in an alcoholic household. And I wouldn't say you were the placater. The placater kind of is the one who nobody really notices in a way. They're actually the ones who sometimes end up trying, kind of being like the problem child sometimes, because they're, trying to get noticed. You get the one that's more like the one that's always noticed because they're always doing good stuff and they overcompensate and they're a people pleaser. And then you get the one who's showing off or showing out because they're trying to get attention, because that's the only way they know how to get attention. And then you get the placater who kind of nobody notices them. I hate to say it like that, but it's like, they're just kind of, they're there, but like, and then they have to do something either really like outrageously like not good or something super great, like, oh look, I just got all honor roll and all A's on my report card, high honors, and I joined varsity. Like, you have to do all this stuff to, like, overemphasize how great you are just to be noticed. It's pretty jacked up. And that's where that codependency comes in, because like that's what codependency is. It's a way to feel valued within the relationship. One person is the one who's always doing something for the other, and they even sometimes enable another person so that they can feel valued within the relationship. And then you have the other person who needs that other person to kind of survive and get by. I just heard, you're all I need to get by. The Marvin Gaye version and Tammy Terrell version. Yeah. And shit fucking sucks. Yeah. So let's get one more card from here. Last message from the tarot. And then we're going to pull from maybe 2 more decks, and that'll be the end of the reading. Don't lose sleep over it, is what I'm getting. 9 of Swords. Don't lose sleep over this. Don't let this get you down. Yeah, got anxiety here and stuff. Anxieties associated with this, fears. A lot of stuff about being in the head space. But yeah, they really want you to work on your happiness right now. This is a time to actually switch things up and be the selfish one. You've been selfless for so long. Now it's time to be selfish, and it's okay. You've earned that. Yeah. This is a way for you to work on getting out of that place of lack. Lack mindset, literally a place of lack, especially if, you've allowed people to kind of take advantage of you financially. Let's see. There's 2 decks that I want to read from. I'm trying to think which order do I want to do it in. Let's go with these first. What else does the collective need to know at this time for their highest good? For universe, most accurate messages. And thank you guys for being here. I'm hoping that you guys are resonating. And for those of you who have been active in the chat, thank you so much for keeping the conversation going and being vulnerable and open and honest here, because this is a safe place, and I love to be able to connect with you guys in that way. That's what this channel is all about. You know, we're going to have those moments where we're kind of fooling around and we're joking and, you know, laughing at crazy things and stuff, and I make crazy jokes, but there's going to be times where it's going to be a little more serious. So, you know, I like to kind of blend those things together, because I want us to have fun here and it be entertaining, but I also want to help you guys work on your journey and where you are when it comes to healing and self-improvement and all those things. So like I said, thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate y'all. I get you, Becky. I definitely get you. I'm the oldest of 3, and I have 2 little brothers. I helped raise them when my parents split up when I was 11. So I'm like their second mom. So remember I was talking about being a pseudo adult. Raise his hand. I've been that person. Bottom of the deck we have Harvest, and it's in the reverse, and it's kind of going back to what I was saying before. Like, you know, there's a lot of things that you guys are trying to like bring in and stuff like that that kind of get held back because of the fact that you've put yourself out there too much, and you can't keep doing that. You can't keep depleting yourself. Yeah, look, you can't make this shit up. Scarcity on the top of the deck. How many times did I talk about like lack mindset, right? So it's like it goes literally back to that. Everything comes back to like, whether it's when it comes to your own mindset or literally the circumstances you've found yourself in, there's a place of lack, and they're definitely letting you know they want you to get out of that. And there might be some hard choices to be made in order to do that. Let's get maybe 3 or 4 cards from here for the collective. Clears the most accurate messages. Desire. Remember I was talking about passion earlier when we saw that Knight of Wands? There's something you're passionate about. I think this passion that you have might be about finally doing something good for yourself. Yeah, you're working on getting grounded, or that's what you're being called to do, getting grounded, feeling more secure within yourself, within your decision making, grabbing life by the horns in a way. We have Brazen here on the top of the deck. Being bold about your decision making here when it comes to doing something for yourself finally. Yeah, you've resisted change for a long fucking time. And now you're not resisting anymore. You're realizing this is what needs to be done in order for me to have what it is I've deserved this whole time. Because what the thing is, you can't pour from an empty cup. What good are you really, when you really think about it, if you have nothing left to give? So here you are trying to help everybody else, but you're not helping yourself. So when you finally get to that point of feeling like you have nothing left, literally nothing, bled dry, how can you help the next person? There's a reason why when you're on an airplane, they always tell you, if that plane goes down, who are you putting that mask on first? Yourself, right? And then the child, not the other way around. So keep that in mind. You gotta take care of yourself first. And that will explain why I was getting self-love and self-care before I even started this reading. Because I was like, I've been stuck between, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? I want that. I went with this. You have Brazen here, which was another card that I had already saw. That's about being really bold. Screaming it from the mountaintops, like, I'm gonna do this for me. Tell us more. I like that for you guys. I really do. Yeah. Secrets revealed. Interesting. So I'm getting a couple of different messages from that card. One message that I'm getting is literally something might be revealed that you didn't know about these circumstances. The other thing that I'm getting is maybe the secret is the secret that you've kept from your own self, right? Which wasn't a secret this whole time, really. You just maybe didn't want to see the truth. the truth about people, the truth about yourself and your own habits and behaviors, so on and so forth. I'm getting something like that. Because remember, you resisted change for a long time, so now things are coming to the forefront, and you're seeing what you need to really see about yourself and the circumstances that you are in. Yeah, look, celestial alignment here on the bottom of the deck, right? Things are just starting to line up. It's starting to all make a lot more sense. And a lot of it's also might be coming from the fact that maybe you've been doing a little bit of that inner work that we were just talking about too. So some of you might be benefiting from, I heard stargazing, which is interesting. But really what I was picking up on is maybe some of you guys are like meditating and stuff like that, praying more, in order to feel a sense of alignment within yourself and with, feeling more connected to spirit. Getting something like that. Let me know if that resonates. But yeah, this is your time to shine, baby. This is what you're meant to do at this time. So don't feel bad about maybe leaving certain things and certain people behind. Even if it's certain old parts about yourself that you realize you have to let go of. It comes with the sacrifice that's necessary in order to work on that growth. One more from here. Worthiness. You are worthy. You are worthy. So if that's one of the things that you've been struggling with, which makes a lot of sense based on the stuff we've been seeing throughout the reading, when we're talking about like the codependency and stuff like that, remember I was saying sometimes some people measure their worth by how much they help other people and how people value, how they feel other people look at them and value them versus it being internal. I've struggled with that for a long time, and I ain't even gonna lie. Sometimes I still do. I'm not gonna stunt. Like for a long time, I felt like the only way that I'm worth anything is if I get accolades and stuff like that, the best grades, writing the best essay, getting, employee of the month or some shit like that. Oh, I made the most money in my department within my region and stuff like that. Like when I used to do, I still do retail technically, but like when I used to like actually like, have to like, document everything and, you're like, oh yeah, you have to meet these quotas and things like that. I was, I put so many people probably in credit card debt. Sorry, but yeah, they used to force us to have people open credit cards, and I was the credit card queen for months in Connecticut and New York, part of New York. In our region, I was the credit card queen. I was killing it. In one shift, I remember how many hours did I work that day? 5 hours. I opened up 8 credit cards, and that was in one day. Everybody's like, and mind you, they were expecting me to open like 2. I opened 8. They were like, how the fuck did you do that in 5 hours? I'm like, I'm just good like that. Put all these people in debt, But yeah, no. Hey, beautiful goddess, how are you? Yeah, I used to kill it. I could sell ice to an Eskimo. Don't try me. No, let me stop. But no, when I was like serious about retail back in the day, like in my early 20s, oh my goodness, I was good. I was good. We have 2 cards that came out: Wounded Healer, along with Resistance. Yeah, exactly. Came out officially on the spread. Wounded Healer. It makes all the sense in the fucking world, right? Like you guys have been through a lot and you're healing. And I'm definitely getting individuals who, like, by working on yourself, you can help other people. I definitely resonate with that. I'm definitely one of those people who I've been through a lot of things, and as I work on my healing process, one of the best ways that I work on it is through what I do even on here, where I'm talking to you guys about the challenges I faced and things like that, how I've overcome them. And when people say, oh, I resonate with that, or I'm working on the same thing, or like when I talk to my coaching clients and stuff like that, like, I'm like, damn, I'm definitely doing what I'm supposed to do. Like, this is my mission here on Earth as a light worker and as a starseed. Like, this is what I'm here for. It could be really ghetto here sometimes on Earth, guys. It could be. But to know that we're living in our purpose and in our truth, that's a beautiful thing. So sometimes, there is that resistance, resisting change and things like that, but, it's what's necessary for our soul's growth. And these lessons are going to, and all the rewards from all these lessons that we, overcome, or challenges that we overcome, it all comes with us. For those of you who know, like, what the Akashic records are, all of that stuff is stored. And in some aspects, all this stuff's already happened. That's a whole different topic. But yeah, it's already there. It's already within us. This is about uncovering it. It happens through karmic lessons and things like that. Divine lineage. For some of you, come from a background that is very divine, whether it's literally here in this earth, like your relatives could be, star seeds or something like that, or light workers, or it could just be saying that, you come from a very powerful bloodline in general. People who have spiritual gifts and stuff like that. I'm getting different things. It'll be different for everybody. Tell me in the comments if it resonates with you. But we do also have cosmic power. For some of you, could be on both sides of the family. Got a man and a woman in this card. Some of you might even be able to, if you are interested in having kids or already have kids of your own, some of you might even bring in children that have very similar gifts to what you have, if you feel you have spiritual gifts and stuff, or your partner. You'll start seeing things possibly in them where you're gonna be like, I'm doing some of the shit that I used to do. My son's an empath, so like, I'm like, this all makes fucking sense. No wonder you've been weird your whole life. Welcome to the club, kid. you're definitely mine. I definitely birthed your little punk ass. Like, this boy been weird his whole life, ever since he was little. And I'm like, damn, you're doing some of the same weird shit I used to do. A lot of weird shit. And I'm just like, oh, it makes sense. Me and him, when we talk, I'm like, yo. I'm like, yes. So you go through the same shit. There we go. We be having those conversations, and he'd be like, Ma, I gotta talk to you. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, yo, so da-da-da-da-da. What the fuck does this mean? Like, I let him cuss sometimes. He's 18. So he'll be like, so can I cuss? And I'm like, yes, go ahead. He's like, what the fuck does this mean? I'm like, okay, son. Well, what I think it fucking means is I'm crazy. But yeah. Good juju. Good juju. Yes. Some of you might be descendants of somebody like from like Louisiana. Let me know if that resonates with anybody. Some of you might have roots there. Or France. I'm getting Haitian too, possibly for someone. Let me know in the comment section if that resonates. That seems a little specific. Alright, so the other deck that I wanted to read from, or I should say I felt drawn to read from, was the inner child deck, because we see a lot of stuff about inner child stuff popping up here in this reading. So I feel like this would be a good reading to possibly end with. Oh god, what we got? Like 2 cards fell, it looks like. If I could get past my boobs and my stomach, that would be nice. Alright, let's see what we got here. I'm going to take these because they came out like as if they really, like they spilled out of the box when I was opening it. That doesn't usually happen, so I'm going to take heed to these messages here. Alright, so let's see. We have listen. Listen to the song within my heart. Your inner child has something to say. Hey, she is. How are you? Nice to see you. I'm laughing at like some of your comments. Beautiful Goddess said, my mom's a reader and an intuitive, but we don't click. That's funny. Like, you know what? We too much alike. Leave me alone. Also came out of the deck, like the spilled out was it is never truly the end. Interesting. And it's funny because we did see a card about like, let me see, is this the one? Trust the timing, right? And on the end of the card it says time is not running out. Yeah, it's never truly the end. First off, time is an illusion. Let's keep that in mind. So it says, beloved, in this everything will be okay. There's no rush, right? I'm also getting like, I got a couple messages. Time is fluid, also meaning that doesn't exist. But yeah, I'm getting time is fluid, and I'm also getting, sorry, bear with me. There's like two messages trying to come in at once. One of the messages that I was picking up on is, when it comes to your healing, remember healing is not linear. You know, it's a process. It doesn't just end, right? It takes time. As I'm saying, time is an illusion, but you know, for layman's terms, it takes time, and it's not something that happens overnight. So be patient with yourself when it comes to all of the healing that you're doing, because you know, sometimes people, you know, want to put time frames on things and stuff like that. I think that's why like time keeps on like popping up in this reading. I don't know how many times I've said it. Right? So it's like, just in that little spiel right there, I said it several times. But no, seriously, like I'm kind of getting like, you know, maybe you guys feel like, you know, I should be over all this stuff by now, or why is everything taking so long, and like time's running out, and it's really not, you know, like time is like, I know it feels like time is of the essence, and you know all this stuff, but just keep in mind when it comes to certain aspects of things, there's no rush, and this is one of those things. Like, allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to have a sense of grace and work through these different things. The other card that came out is, you can do hard things. It is not impossible. It's not as impossible as it may feel. I was just saying on my girl Lati's reading yesterday, one of the things that she said is, it was an affirmation, you can do hard things. And actually with my students, we started at the end of the school year for our morning meetings, we started ending it with affirmations. And one of the ones that me and the head teacher came up with was, you, I can do hard things. That was one. That's actually the last one. The first one is, I think I'm smart or something like that. I am smart. I am brave. I am unique. I can do hard things, and there's one more. I can't think of it right now. Forgot what the other one is, but yeah, we have them say like 6 different ones all together. It's really cute. Seeing them saying all that stuff, and you know. And then one of my students, he'll whenever we say that last one, I can do hard things, he always says, and it's hard to wait. And because like that's something we say a lot to them, like, I know it's hard to wait, buddy, but blah blah blah. Like, you know, we always validate how they're feeling and their anxieties and things. So it's really cute how he'll say that at the end, like, you get it, huh, honey bunny? That's right, my baby. He's so fresh. He's so fresh. I'm like, this boy. All of my students are funny though. All of them. They just have so many little quirks to them. So much personality. Love those guys. But I am enjoying my break. See them in a couple weeks. We have, it's time to celebrate. Cultivate an air of celebration today. Celebrate your successes and your victories, no matter how big or how small they are, right? Everything that you've been doing when it comes to working on yourself, right? Your self-improvement, your growth, you know? I think sometimes we forget how far we've come. Especially when we're, you know, if you're beating ourselves up and saying, oh, yeah, I don't feel like I'm worthy enough, right? Work on that. You're definitely being called to do so. Your inner child is even saying it. So let's get it 3 from here, and that'll be the end of this reading. Find your haven. There's a place of wonder waiting just for you. So getting like finding your safe place, you know, what does that look like for you? For me, my safe place is home, of course, but sometimes even home doesn't always feel like the safest place, to be honest with you. Just being real, being transparent. Um, Sometimes I need a place to really like free my mind and like clear my head. And the best place for me is the park near my house. It's about 5, 7 minute drive from here. Seaside Park here in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's actually, if you guys know who P.T. Barnum is, the one who had the Barnum and Bailey Circus back in the day. You know, we're talking about like the 1800s, 1900s. Um, that whole park was his estate. Hey, babe, what's up? But yeah, so I like to spend time there by the water because it's like right on Long Island Sound. Um, and I teach special education. I work with kids with autism, my babies. My group of students at this time, they're between 8 and 10 years old. Developmentally, they're almost on grade level, but they have some challenges. Um, but I worked with students who were like severely disabled too, who like they were, you know, 11 years old and still wearing diapers and couldn't feed themselves. Like, so I worked with children of different, you know, severities when it came to their disability. But right now, the kids that I work with are closer to like on, you know, grade level with their, you know, set of challenges as well. But I love my students. I've been doing this for going on 7 years. It's awesome. It's okay to be misunderstood. Perception is not always based on the truth. Yeah, perception, and keyword perception, right? Perception is all about how each person views things. You know, what I see when I'm in a room with other people, based on where I'm standing, it's going to look completely different from the person standing just a couple of feet away from me, right? So, you know, it goes to show that, you know, when we understand, you know, differences in opinions, when we understand even, you know, our different, you know, points of view within ourselves from one moment to the next, right? Just understand it's all based on what is the truth in that moment. So it's okay to have misunderstandings. It's okay to, with other people, or like I said, with even within yourself, you know, contradictions. We're all a walking goddamn contradiction. We're an enigma, you know, and just understanding that, and that's okay. You know, what made sense to me just a few years ago. Sometimes there's things that I've said. Did you ever look at your Facebook memories and see the posts that you've posted and you're like, ugh, I said that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sometimes very ashamed of some of the things I put up there. And I'm like, why the fuck would I put this on Facebook? But it's happened. It's happened. And I'm sure it happened to you guys at some point or another too. But it could be something like, you know, an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. You're like, oh God, ugh, why did I put them up there? Oh no. And they're a memory now, and you're just like, fuck, why? It's like it's in my brain forever. It's burned in there now. My eyes burn. Why did I say that? Why did I do that? But yeah. Again, you know, it's okay to have misunderstandings or for things to shift and change when it comes to perception. Own it, right? Own it. Let's get one more from here. Keep in mind that's part of our growth. Today is the day. It is time to begin the journey. No better time than the present, right? No better time than the present to be able to say, okay, this is the time for me to take life by the horns, and I'm gonna take control over everything now. I'm doing what's best for me now, not for everybody else, but for myself. And yeah, for a lot of you, being a little bit more selfish rather than selfless is okay. that's fine, because you've been there for everybody else for too long. It's time to be there for yourself finally. Bottom of the deck. Seek guidance in this. It is time for a different perspective. So we have perspective and perception. Very similar words. Um, Slight differences in the two, but they're you know very very similar. So yeah, seeing things from a new point of view. I'm happy you're enjoying this. I've been trying to get back into doing this regularly. So like I go on now about roughly 3 times a week. I want to start upping it though. And I do plan on starting to do like free yes and no's or mini readings. I'm about to start doing stuff like that again, and discounted readings or donation based readings. Um, but yeah, if you hit that notification bell though, you'll definitely be notified of when I'm on. Like I might go on again tomorrow. Nope, I'm lying. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe the night after. But yeah. See, look, I'm telling you guys, look, top of the deck, choose yourself today. Do not deny your importance. Look at that. Choose yourself today. Today is the day to put yourself first. Wow. Middle of the deck, we have become aware. Listen to the wisdom of the body. So things like, when you're dealing with anxiety or, other ailments, especially like when it comes to being in the presence of other people, right? As an empath, because a lot of you guys will resonate with being an empath. An empath, you're taking on the energy of everybody else, right? And your body is telling you, this doesn't feel right. I don't like how this feels. I don't really want to use the whole R. Kelly thing, but it's just a funny joke. It's a running joke for, the past 30 years. My mind's telling me no, but my body. But in this case, your body's telling you no too. Everything's just saying no, no, no. Listen to your body when it tells you absolutely not, right? Like I said, all the anxiety and all of that, like, how do you feel when you're around people? I got really nauseous all of a sudden. This happened to me the other day on the reading too, and other people were like, oh, I've been dealing with that. I've been having like acid reflux, or I've been having like episodes of really bad nausea and blah blah. Like, other people confirmed it. Some of you might be going through that right now, and I feel it, and it just came on out of nowhere. Don't like it, not a fan. um Let me know if that resonates. But people in your energy make you literally feel sick. I did a reading for someone the other day, and while I was doing the reading, like, it was a paid reading, and literally, like, I got so hot and clammy, like my whole body was like, I was like profusely sweating, and I started kind of shaking a little bit, and then like my hands got clammy too, and then like I was having heart palpitations. I was like, what the fuck? What is this? I almost stopped the reading because I was like, okay, I don't feel good. And then I just had to cleanse my space, and then I felt better. But like, yeah. So some of y'all might be, yeah, it was yesterday, right? I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. I'm starting to blend days together. But yeah, some of you might be feeling like that. So let me know. Whew, guys, well, with all that said, my lovely, lovely, lovely little star seeds, this was a good one. I'm greatly appreciative of you guys for tapping in and supporting the channel. Thank you for being here and sticking around, and for being active in the chat and all that good stuff. Very appreciative. And for those of you who are new, if you haven't done so, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that as well. So I probably won't be on tomorrow, but I'm thinking maybe Thursday night. Thursday night sounds like a good possibility. So, yeah. With all that said, you guys have a great rest of your evening. A great hump day, which will be tomorrow. Hump day. And yeah. Until next time. Mwah. Love you guys.